Hey everyone. If you're anything like me, you've probably binged a few crime shows. You see that person in the vest, carefully working under the yellow tape? The crime scene investigator, the CSI. And they always find that one tiny, almost invisible clue that just blows the case wide open. But what does it actually take to be that person? Let's dig in and find out.
Right? Who hasn't thought that? It looks so cool, so important. You see him dusting for prints or looking at a bloodstain, and it's so easy to think, yeah, I'm pretty detail-oriented. I could definitely do that.
But here's the thing. Once you get past all the Hollywood drama, there's a real-world path to becoming a CSI, and it's tough. It's way less about those last-minute aha moments and a lot more about science, strict procedures, and just intense focus. So that's what we're going to do today. We're pulling back the curtain on what that journey really looks like.
Okay, so first things first, let's get a really clear idea of what a crime scene investigator actually is, because this is a job with a ton of responsibility where literally every single detail counts.
So at its heart, this is the job. The CSI is basically the bridge connecting the crime scene to the crime lab. They're the experts who make sure that all the physical evidence, which is really like a silent witness, is found, documented, and kept safe so it can tell its story later on.
And let me tell you, the work is so meticulous. It's not just about throwing stuff in a bag. No, it's about photographing everything from every possible angle, measuring its exact location, and making absolutely sure nothing gets contaminated. And then, you have to write a report that's so detailed someone who wasn't even there could picture the scene perfectly. And even after all that, you got to be ready to stand up in court and defend every single thing you did.
So where do you even begin? What's step one on this path? Well, it all starts with building the right foundation, and that means education. And honestly, this is where a lot of people who want to be CSIs run into their first big roadblock.
Yeah, and what's super interesting here is this whole idea of a science gap. A ton of people go for degrees in criminal justice or criminology. And don't get me wrong, those are great fields, but what agencies are really looking for these days are people with hard science backgrounds. They need folks who actually get the science behind the evidence they're collecting, because that evidence has to stand up in court. So here's the real takeaway for you. If you're serious about this, you've got to bulk up your science credits. It's a must. Taking classes in biology, chemistry, even statistics, it's absolutely essential. I mean, this stuff gives you the language and the mental tools to understand DNA, the chemical reactions in fingerprint powders, and the physics of blood spatter. Seriously, even just a minor in a science field can make your application jump to the top of the pile.
And of course, school is only half the battle, right? Nothing, and I mean nothing, beats real-world experience. Getting an internship with the police department or a medical examiner's office, invaluable. You could even start out as an evidence technician. That's the person who logs and stores all the evidence. It's like the perfect stepping stone to eventually getting out there in the field.
Okay, so you've built that foundation. Now what? How do you actually get hired? Let's take a look at the main ways people get their foot in the door.
And right off the bat, you can see there are two really different paths you can take. You've got the crime scene investigator trainee, that's the person who's hands-on, right there at the scene. And then you have the forensic biology/DNA specialist. That's the expert in the lab, analyzing everything the field team brings back. Both jobs are absolutely critical, but the requirements to get them, totally different.
And the difference in what they require is huge. For that field trainee job, you might be able to get in the door with just an associate's degree and not a ton of experience. The focus there is all about the process, finding, collecting, and preserving evidence. But for the lab specialist job, you're going to need a bachelor's degree in science plus 5 years of technical experience. It's a way more specialized and academic route.
So getting the job is one thing, but what's it really like? The day-to-day life of a CSI is a million miles away from what you see on TV. It's demanding, it's challenging, and honestly, a lot of the time, it's not glamorous at all.
I mean, your daily to-do list can be all over the place. One day, you're in the mud making a cast of a tire track. The next, you might be at an autopsy collecting trace evidence. And the day after that, you're in a suit testifying in court. You really have to have a massive range of skills, everything from photography to public speaking.
But with all those duties come some major challenges. Your number one enemy, a lot of the time, is contamination. From the weather, from other first responders, from basically anyone who isn't supposed to be there. You're always racing against the clock, working under some serious pressure, and you have to deal with sights and sounds and smells that can just be emotionally crushing. This is the part of the job that takes real, true grit.
At the end of the day, being successful in this job really comes down to a unique mix of personal traits. You gotta have the physical stamina to work super long hours in all kinds of weather. You need the emotional strength to see tragic things and not let it break you. And you need the mental discipline to stay objective and scientific when everything around you is just pure chaos.
So let's say you've got the education, you've got the experience, and you've got that mental toughness. What's next? Well, for anyone who wants to be at the very top of their game, the last step is certification. This is how you prove to everyone that you're a true master of the craft. The main organization you need to know about is the IAI, the International Association for Identification. Just think of them as the gold standard for forensic pros. Now, getting certified is usually voluntary, but earning it? That tells the world, and crucially, the courts, that your skills have been tested and approved by the best experts in the entire field.
The AII has a really clear ladder you can climb. You start out as a CCSI, a Certified Crime Scene Investigator. That's all about the basics. From there, you can move up to become a Certified Crime Scene Analyst, which gets more into interpreting evidence. And the very top, that's the CSCSA, the Certified Senior Crime Scene Analyst. This is the expert who can reconstruct an entire scene and give that super deep analysis.
And the commitment it takes to move up that ladder is pretty significant. I mean, just look at the jump. To get that first level, the CCSI, you need 1 year of experience and 48 hours of training. But to hit that top-tier CSCSA level, you're looking at a minimum of 6 years on the job, plus 144 hours of specialized training. That's a serious commitment to being the best. So there you have it. We've laid it all out. The science gap, the need for hands-on experience, the intense day-to-day challenges, and the long road to becoming a certified expert. It's a whole lot different from a 1-hour TV drama, isn't it? So the real question for you is, knowing everything that goes into it, is this a path you're really ready to walk?